How can joy and judgment even be in the same sentence? It's a really uncomfortable idea, right? But it's actually central to understanding this whole concept of divine vindication. So let's just dive right into this difficult, but honestly pretty profound question. So, where does this all start? Well, it begins with this cry. And this isn't just some dramatic line in a book. This is a raw, haunting question coming from the souls of martyrs. I mean, just try to imagine that for a second. A plea echoing from under a celestial altar, literally born from the agony of justice being delayed. This is the core problem we're going to unpack. For centuries, that question, it just hangs there, unanswered. So after all that time, what was heaven's final response? We're about to find out. This is the journey to one of the most dramatic turning points in the entire book of Revelation. Okay, so after all that waiting, the moment finally hits, and we pivot from this long, agonizing question of delayed justice to something completely unexpected. A direct command to celebrate. This is heaven's answer. And there it is, a direct command to rejoice. Not just to, watch or be satisfied, but to actively celebrate. This is the answer to that cry we heard, the one that echoed for centuries. But what does this kind of rejoicing really mean? Because it's definitely not about vengeance in the way we usually think of it. To really get what's going on here, we've got to dig a little deeper. We have to go to the original language. The specific Greek words used in this passage are the key that unlocks the true nature of this joy. And this is where it all clicks. See, the word for rejoice, euphreno, isn't a gentle suggestion. It's a command. Be glad. And the words for judgment, kreno and krima, they don't mean chaotic revenge. They're legal terms. They point to a formal judicial sentence being carried out. So think of it this way. This is a courtroom verdict, not a street fight. So here's the crucial point, the main takeaway. This celebration is not some cruel delight in destruction. No way. It's the deep, profound joy that comes when truth is finally vindicated. It's a celebration that after centuries of lies and injustice and suffering, righteousness has decisively won. Now, to feel the full weight of this moment, of this vindication, we have to understand the sheer depth of the suffering that came before it. Because this moment of joy doesn't just happen in a vacuum. It's the climax of a long and frankly painful history of God's messengers being rejected. And when you lay it all out like this, you see this consistent, tragic pattern. For centuries, God's messengers were met with hostility. I mean, you go from Old Testament prophets being despised to Jesus himself weeping over Jerusalem's legacy of killing the very people sent to save it, all the way to Stephen calling out this exact pattern just moments before he's martyred. You see, this wasn't just a few isolated incidents. It was a systemic, heartbreaking rejection of truth over and over again. So, with that heartbreaking history as the backdrop, what does this divine vindication truly mean for all those who were silenced for so long? And this right here, this distinction is everything. Human vengeance, you know how it is. It's emotional, it's personal, it's messy, and it often just spirals into more injustice. But divine justice, it's something else entirely. It's not about gloating, it's about vindicating truth. It's not personal payback, it's the restoration of righteousness. It's a perfectly measured, holy act of setting the world right again. So let's break it down. Why is all of heaven celebrating? Well, it's because truth, which was trampled underfoot for so long, is finally honored. It's because the whole system that silenced God's messengers is finally judged, and every single one of those silenced voices is finally heard and avenged. Ultimately, this massive celebration is for that one moment when God's righteousness is proven to be supreme. And here we get to the breathtaking climax of the entire story. The greatest victim of injustice, the Lamb who was slain, is revealed to be the ultimate judge. I mean, think about that. It is the most profound reversal you could possibly imagine. The one who was executed now holds all authority. This is the absolute, final, undeniable triumph of good over evil, of truth over deception. So we end on this question. If the loudest, most intense celebration in heaven is for the moment that truth is finally vindicated, what does that tell us about its value? Maybe it shows that truth isn't just some abstract concept. It's the very foundation of justice. And its ultimate triumph is, quite literally, the greatest cause for joy in the entire universe.